and I never tried to quit. The doctor said stop drinking, the preacher said pray more. My mama said find a good woman and lock her to the door. Well, I found one that was something I can't explain. She was bourbon in a good dress and trouble with a pretty name. She'd show up without warning, stay longer than she should, and I tell myself each morning that this time I'd be good. But good intentions crumble when she walks into the room, and everything I promised disappeared like morning perfume. She was my best bad habit, the one I couldn't shake. She was my best bad habit, Lord, she kept me wide awake. Every doctor has a remedy, every preacher has a cure, but nobody had an answer for a woman like her. She was my best bad habit, and honey, I relapsed every time. For loving her too much, I made it to step 7. Then she called and that was enough. I tried to keep my distance, tried to change my number twice, but bad habits have a way of finding you no matter how hard you hide. The last time that I saw her, she was walking out the door. She said, honey, I'm your habit, but I can't be nothing more. And I stood there in that doorway, knowing everything she said was true. Some habits break you slowly, some habits see you through. She was my best bad habit, the one I couldn't shake. She was my best bad habit, Lord, she kept me wide awake. Every doctor has a remedy, every preacher has a cure, but nobody had an answer for a woman like her. She was my best bad habit, and honey, I'd relapse again. They say it takes 21 days to break a habit clean, but nobody counted on 21 years of everything she means. So I keep this old guitar close when the habit starts to call, because the blues is the only remedy that helps me through it all. She was my best bad habit, the one I couldn't shake. She was my best bad habit, Lord, she kept me wide awake. Every doctor has a remedy, every preacher has a cure, but nobody in this whole wide world had an answer for her. She was my best bad habit, gone but never gone. My best bad habit, playing on and on. Best bad habit ever had. Every scar's got a story. and mine could fill a booth. I got a scar above my brow from a bar fight in my youth. I got a scar across my knuckles from a fist that found the truth. I got a scar inside my chest now that no doctor ever sees, from a woman who left quietly on a cold November eve. But the one that took the longest, the one that changed my shape, was the scar that comes from loving someone you just can't escape. And every time I play this guitar, I feel each one of them not like wounds, but like a history of where this life has been. Every scar has got a story. Every story's got a blues. Every blues has got a guitar. Every guitar's got the truth. I wear my scars like medals now from battles I survived. Every scar has got a story, and mine kept me alive. Used to cover up the cracks, used to act like nothing touched me, never once looked back. But a man who hides his damage is a man who can't be healed. And the blues taught me that every scar is a truth that needs to be revealed. So now I wear this history right here on my sleeve. Son, you wouldn't believe, because every note I've ever played here came from somewhere that hurt, and everything this guitar's singing was bought with blood and dirt. Every scar has got a story. Every story's got a blues. Every blues has got a guitar. Every guitar's got the truth. From battles I survived. Every scar has got a story, and mine kept me alive. If you're sitting here with damage, if you're carrying something heavy tonight, know that every scar you're hiding is just proof that you survived the fight. And the blues understands completely every mark that life has made, because the blues was born from damage, and it never was afraid. Every scar has got a story. Every story's got a blues. Every forgave me first, before I forgave myself. Carried guilt like luggage for years and years and years. I replayed every failure in the dark behind my fears. I hurt the ones who loved me. I wasted what I had. I spent so long apologizing for everything I'd been and done and said. I went to every preacher, I went to every friend. I looked for absolution that never seemed to end, until I sat alone one evening with this guitar in my hand and played the first honest thing I've played in years. And I began. The blues forgave me first, before the morning did. The blues forgave me first, for everything I hid. It didn't ask for reasons, didn't need to understand. The blues just played right through me and forgave me where I stand. The blues forgave me first, and I finally let it in. The blues forgave me first, and that's where I could begin. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've said things I can't take back. I've left people in the darkness while I never look back. But the blues never kept a record, never tallied up the score. It just met me where I landed and asked what the music was for. And I said, it's for the broken, it's for the ones who fail, it's for the man who needs forgiving but can't forgive himself. And every note I played that evening rang out like a reply. The blues said, brother, I've been waiting for you to finally cry. The blues forgave me first, before the morning did. The blues forgave me first, understand. The blues forgave me first, and I finally breathe again. The blues forgave me first, and that's where I could begin. The blues forgave me first, before I forgave myself. The blues forgave me first, before I forgave myself. I carried guilt like luggage for years and years and years. I replayed every failure in the dark behind my fears. I hurt the ones who loved me. I wasted what I had. I spent I'm living on the wrong side of a good memory. It's funny how a photograph can cut you like a knife, how a song that used to mean nothing can stop you in your life. I found a ticket stub last Tuesday from a movie that we saw. Was just a Thursday, but the feeling hit the floor. Because good memories are dangerous when you're standing on the wrong side, when the thing that made them beautiful is the thing that makes you cry. And I've been here a long time now, on this side of what we had, watching good things through a window that I never knew I'd lose. I'm living on the wrong side of a good memory, where everything looks perfect from where I used to be. I'm living on the wrong side, where the good times used to live, on the wrong side of a memory that I'd give anything to revisit. Restaurant where we had our first real fight, where we made up over pasta and laughed until midnight. I drive past it every Tuesday just to feel something real, just to stand on the right side of a memory I can still feel. ever seen. And this old guitar keeps asking why I keep coming back here, to a place that only hurts me with a beauty I can't escape. I'm living on the wrong side of a good memory, where everything looks perfect from where I used to be. I'm living on the wrong side, where the good times used to live, on the wrong side of a memory that I'd give anything to revisit. Maybe someday I'll stop driving past the places that we shared. Maybe someday a photograph won't find me unprepared. But memories don't ask permission, they just show up unannounced. And the good ones hit the hardest, because they matter the most. I'm living on the wrong side of a good memory, where everything looks perfect from where I used to be. I'm living on the wrong side, where the good times used to live, on the wrong side of a memory that I'd give everything to revisit. Wrong side of a good memory, still here, still looking back. Taught myself to hurt quiet, so nobody had to know. I don't slam doors when I'm angry, I don't raise my voice in pain. I just go real still and silent, like the eye inside the rain. My daddy never cried in public, said tears were for the weak. So I learned to swallow oceans and pretend I didn't speak. I smile at all the right moments, I laugh at all the right lines, but there's a man behind this easy face who's drowning all the time. The only place I let it out, the only place it shows, is when I pick this old guitar up and let the music go. I taught myself to hurt quiet, learned it early, learned it well. I taught myself to hurt quiet, got real good at not telling. But the blues don't do it quiet, no, the blues won't hold its tongue. I taught myself to hurt quiet, but the guitar told everyone. to say I lived inside my head. I'd nod like I was listening and feel everything she said. But feeling ain't the same as showing, and showing ain't the same as free. So I kept her hurt real tidy in a place she couldn't see, until one night the guitar found it, pulled it out note by note, and everything I'd been holding came right up through my throat. So now I come here every evening, let the blues say what I can't. It's not a cure, it's not a healing, it's just honest, and that's enough. I taught myself to hurt quiet, learned it early, learned it well. I taught myself to hurt quiet, got real good at not telling. But the blues don't do it quiet, no, the blues won't hold its tongue. I taught myself to hurt quiet, but the guitar told everyone. Maybe someday I'll unlearn it, maybe someday I'll let it show. Maybe I'll stop being careful with the things I need to let go. But tonight the guitar's talking, so I'll sit here and I'll listen to everything I never said, singing back at me from a distance. I taught myself to hurt quiet, learned it early, learned it well. I taught myself to hurt quiet, got real good at not telling. But the blues don't do it quiet, no, the blues won't hold its tongue. I taught myself to hurt quiet, but the guitar told everyone. Hurt quiet all my life, hurt quiet. There's men at the bar, always knows the most. Bottles called my name. The bartender stopped asking questions around the fourth or fifth refrain. I watched the couples leaving, watched the happy people go, and I sat here with my shadow and everything I used to know. She was the kind of woman who made silence feel like home, and now the silence feels like punishment every time I'm here alone. But I ain't here for pity, I ain't here for sympathy. I'm here because this bar stool is the last place that still remembers me. The has got the most to say. The last man at the bar watched everything fade away. He's counting all the reasons, he's counting all the scars, and the blues plays on for no one like it plays for the last man at the bar. I tried the early evenings, tried the sober Sunday light, but everything I needed fixing only showed itself at night. The neon signs keep blinking like they're sending me a code, and I keep reading loneliness into every light on this road. She said, I love this bar stool more than I ever loved her face. Maybe she was right about that. Maybe this was always my real place. But this old guitar beside me never once complained, and every song I've ever played here kept me barely sane. The last man at the bar has got the most to say. The last man at the bar watched everything fade away. He's counting all the reasons, he's counting all the scars, and the blues plays on for no one like it plays for the last man at the bar. Maybe tomorrow I'll do better. Maybe morning brings a change. Maybe I'll be gone by closing. Maybe nothing stays the same. But tonight I got this whiskey. Tonight I got this song. And the blues don't judge a man for staying just a little too long. The last man at the bar has got the most to say. The last man at the bar watched everything fade away. He's counting all the reasons, he's counting all the scars, and the blues plays on for no one, for the last man at the bar. The last man at the bar, still here, still blue, still playing. The devil left my door last night, and the blues walked in. dark at midnight, stood up from my chair, opened up that old front door, and found nobody there. Just the rain on the sidewalk, just the wind in the trees, just the ghost of everything I was trying to leave. But then I felt it moving through the floorboards and the walls, that old familiar feeling that visits broken halls. It wasn't what I lost, people, it wasn't what she took. It was something far more honest than anything in any book. The devil left my door last night, and the blues walked in. The devil left my door last night, and the healing could begin. Brought me home. I sat down with that feeling, poured it something strong. We stayed up until sunrise, trading sorrow for a song. It told me about the woman who carried half my soul. It told me about the young man who forgot he could be whole. It told me that the hurting was the price I had to pay for every beautiful unbroken thing that ever came my way. And I listened like a man who finally understands that the blues don't come to break you, it comes to free your hands. The devil left my door last night, and the blues walked in. The devil left my door last night, and the healing could begin. I've been fighting something darker than a man should fight alone. The devil left my door last night, and the blues brought me home. Every man who ever sat here in the dark with nothing left, every soul who ever wondered if there's something after death, of everything you loved and lost, of every dream that wouldn't stay. Listen close, the blues is telling you it didn't go away. The devil left my door last night, and the blues walked in. The devil left my door last night, and the healing could begin. I've been fighting something darker than a man should fight alone. The devil left my door last night. The blues was never the same again. When everything else fades, the blues stays on. The party always ends, the laughter always leaves, the people walk back to their lives through the November freeze. But something stays behind them in the corners of the room, something that the music left still humming like a wound. You can turn the lights off, you can lock the door, but the blues that played here tonight will live here evermore. The blues stays on long after the last song. The blues stays on when everything else is gone. In the glasses on the counter, in the smoke that fills the air, the blues stays on. And honey, it was there before you walked in hurting, before you found this place. The blues stays on, wearing your face. Thousand evenings starting in right here. I've seen the broken-hearted arrive and disappear, but every single one of them left something in the song, a little bit of their story for the blues to carry on. Because the blues is just a record of every heart that ever felt, and every note that's ever played here is a scar that someone dealt. The blues stays on long after the last song. The blues stays on when everything else is gone. In the glasses on the counter, in the smoke that fills the air, the blues stays on. And honey, it was there before you walked in hurting, before you found this place. The blues stays on, wearing every face. Maybe that's the secret, maybe that's that's the gift. The blues don't need permission to give a broken heart a lift. It just stays in the corners of every room it's touched, and waits for the next soul who needs it just as much. The blues stays on long after the last song. The blues stays on when everything else is gone. And every note we play tonight,
Every note we played,
and every chord we found,
every chord we found,
the blues stays on, and every single sound. Before you walked in hurting, you leave a little more hope. The blues stays on in your soul. The blues stays on long after we're gone. The blues stays on, always has, always will. She left the blues behind, like a gift she didn't know she gave. She packed her things on Friday, left the key beside the door, said she needed something different than what we'd been living for. She took the easy mornings, took the laughter from the hall, but she left the blues behind her, like she didn't need it at all. And I found it in the silence, in the space where she had been. The blues was just there waiting, like it knew she'd leave again. She left the blues behind, and the blues knew what to do. She left the blues behind, and the blues brought me through. Every empty room she gave me, every quiet she left behind, filled up with something deeper. She left the blues and I was fine. I used to think the blues were suffering. I used to think it meant you lost. But the blues is just the honest price of loving at any cost. And she left me with the currency to understand my soul. She left the blues behind her, and the blues made me whole. Some people leave you broken.
Some people leave you broken.
Some people leave you strong.
Some people leave you strong.
And some people leave you something that you needed all along. She left the blues behind, and the blues knew what to do. She left the blues behind, and the blues brought me through. Every empty room she gave me, every quiet she left behind, filled up with something deeper. She left the blues, and I was fine. I don't blame her for the leaving. I don't curse her for the pain, because the blues she left behind her was the best thing that remained. It taught me how to feel again. It taught me how to sing. It taught me that the blues ain't lost. The blues is everything. She left the blues behind, and the blues knew what to do. She left the blues behind, and the blues brought me through. Every empty room she gave me, every quiet she left behind, filled up with something real. She left the blues behind, and honey, I was more than fine.
She left the blues behind.
Best thing she ever did for me. The night refused to end, and I was glad it didn't. The clock said 2:15, but the blues said stay a while. The bartender was counting bills, and I was counting miles. Miles between the man I was and the man I tried to be. The guitar hummed a low-down truth that nobody told but me. Some nights the darkness holds you like it knows what you've been through. Some nights the blues is kinder than anything the daylight ever knew. The night refused to end, and I was glad it stayed. The night refused to end while the guitar played. Every note rang out like mercy. Every chord felt like a friend. I wasn't ready refused to end. Didn't need it, needed time. The woman at the piano started playing something fine. She looked like she had stories hidden underneath the smile. I nodded like I understood. We've all been here a while. When the world outside gets cold, some melodies feel younger than the heart that's growing old. The night refused to end, and I was glad it stayed. The night refused to end. While the guitar played, friend, I wasn't ready for the morning, so the night refused to end. Maybe morning brings forgiveness, maybe daylight clears the air, but everything I needed fixing was already getting fixed right here. In the smoke and in the music, in the silence between the songs, in the company of strangers who all knew where they belong. The night refused to end, it stayed. The night refused to end. While the guitar played, every note rang out like mercy. Every chord felt like a friend. I wasn't ready for the morning, so the night refused to end. The night refused to end, and neither did the blues.